Hello to everyone. I am so excited. It is June 5th, and welcome back to On the Fives. I am your host, Nicole, of the Red 5 Network and the Red 5 Reading Book Club that I spearhead. And I'm excited that everyone's here tonight. I'm so excited because we have a very, very special first guest, and I cannot wait to introduce her to you. But I have a feeling most of you guys know her, and I'm excited that she's here because I'm excited. As you know, again, I was just saying, part of the Red 5 Network that you can find at biolink/Red5. Find myself, many other podcasts, as well as the Red 5 Reading Book Club and the Red 5 Tavern for Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want to, take care of some dragons, you can hit them up there too. As I was saying, again, I'm just so excited. I'm almost like, it's been a while since I've gone back to the original way of doing the show. The reason I started the On the Fives in the first place was to get to know my fellow content creators, not just in the Red 5 Network, but also my friends and people I want to become friends with. And I am very excited because tonight's guest, I remember meeting her. Well, we didn't really meet. Getting connected with her through Twitter, and because of Cara Dune. Very specifically, I remember her making a Cara Dune. And I'm just so excited because she's here. Because she loves books. And so that's why I'm excited. And for those who don't know, or most do know, that's Glinda the Good. Alfie is currently in her room kind of taking some time because sometimes she likes to take time. Yes, she is. She also likes to play Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's why she's here. I think she heard Dungeons and Dragons and came running. Although she hasn't played in a while. So without further ado, though, we're just gonna jump in tonight. Because that's just what I want to do. I could talk about other fun stuff later because I'm just ready to talk about books and all that jazz. Tonight's guest, again, I met her via Twitter. She's the Geeky Crochet. She is the Uncocking Lore. She is art and chat. She has many, many, many wonderful qualities, and I'm so excited for you guys to all meet her tonight. Please welcome in Miss Maria. I have been meaning, okay, I have to be honest. I have been meaning to send you a message for months. And then I see how busy you are and I'm like going, I'll just wait. It's okay.
Wow.
I'll wait. I know you're busy. And I could, you're podcasting too. And I'm just like, one of these days I'm going to send you a message and be like, do you have time this week? Will you come on the Fives? And even if it's a short chat, let's just geek out. Let's nerd out. Let's talk about books and all that because I know.
Yeah.
I can still remember after the weekend, you guys talking about the never-ending story and me being like,
yes. Oh, that was one of the first episodes of After the Weekend.
Yes.
That was still on my channel before After the Weekend had its proper channel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ooh.
And I remember going,
wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we connected. I was like, okay, Cara Dune, check.
Yeah.
Never ending story, check. Bookworm, check. And just being like, oh my God, she's awesome. So it's so great to finally have you on. So thank you.
Yeah, and this is the first time actually that I think, Nicole, is this the first time that we've been on a panel together? I don't remember.
First time in a long time.
In a long time. Okay.
I feel like we have.
Okay. We probably have.
It's been a while. But it's been at least over a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think, what would it be though?
It must have been before my big move. Because after my big
move. I remember that.
After that, I went on hiatus for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit more, actually. And I was on and off, kind of on live streaming with people when I got some invites. Like Tabitha invited me for her first hey Ubaldo. She invited me on for her first art party. But that's it. I wasn't doing my own things. And then it was after a year of that, it's in 2023, I think it was. That's when I started off again, and I haven't stopped.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been more than a year.
It's definitely been more than a year. I'm like
Yeah,
thinking about it, like, has it really
yeah,
been that long?
yeah. It has.
Wow.
It's gonna be 3 years since I moved. So
Oh, wow. And
yeah,
because that you moved to Canada.
yeah, I did.
I remember that. And then
Yeah,
I remember being excited for you because I was like, oh my God, she's gonna go live where Anna Green Gables lived and like all this stuff. Like I
yeah.
just and of
Well,
course
I'm
that's where
kind
my
of
mind
far
went.
away. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm kind of far away from.
Prince Edward Island.
Yes, but I live very near to where one of the premises that Anne of Green Gables was filmed, like the 80s
Oh.
movies. Yeah.
Love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Love it. Like if there is one book that I felt so good, that felt like good like the book, it's the 1980s Anna Green Gables.
Oh, yes. No, they did such a phenomenal
Yeah.
job for Anne of Green Gables and then Anne
Mhm.
of Avonlea.
Mhm.
Um, that is like my go-to comfort movie.
Yes. It's one of my
It's so
comforts too.
it's so good, and the books are amazing. They're amazing.
I know. And you're there.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, you're there. Like, it's so funny because I could just go back to like to you guys talking about it on air and me going on the other side. You guys can't see me, and I'm just like losing my mind and going, Anna Green Gables. She gets to
Yeah,
go live where Anna Green Gables is, like, like even growing up where Avonlea was, like,
yeah. And
and
I
you,
have been there. Like, I have been to Prince Edward Island and to the Green Gable house. But
ooh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
that was when I was 15 years old. I had read the books, or no, I hadn't seen the movie. I hadn't read the books by then. Um, but it was a treat by my uncle when I would turn 15, and it was just so amazing. Yeah, it's such a beautiful island, and the shore is actually like a rusty red because of all the iron that it has. It's great for growing
Oh,
potatoes, for example. It's very well known for that. But if you look it up and you look up Prince Edward Island like beaches, you're gonna see it's red. Red. It's not like a nice
hmm
sand colored,
hmm
something Anakin Skywalker wouldn't like, but it's red.
hmm There are two things that had just popped in my head. One, Sand and Anakin, but
Yeah.
two. So the Red Five Reading Book Club,
Yes.
that's in conjunction with on the fives. We have an inside joke in regards to potatoes. Anytime the potatoes gets brought up, it just happens. We just start laughing. We had read the book Eruption, and potatoes was a big part of it. And I just started going, you know how many other books actually use potatoes in those books? You got A Hobbit, you've
Yes.
got Pride and Prejudice,
Yes.
and you brought up potatoes, and I just can't help but like giggle because we're
Well,
just
also, the Guernsey literar oh gosh, this title is huge. The Guernsey Literary Club and Potato Peel Pie Club, something like that.
oh, that's okay. That
Yes.
sounds familiar.
So
It does
they
sound
did a
familiar.
movie. They did a movie on that book, but the book's amazing.
Wait,
Um,
was that the one with Lily Potter in it?
yes, yes, yes. When I saw the movie afterwards, I read the book, which is
Oh,
really.
yes, also in The Martian.
Oh, The
That's
Martian.
funny.
Yes, The Martian has potatoes.
Do not ask us how, but for some odd reason, every couple of months, we get a book inside the book club that has potatoes in it. And it's not on purpose either. Like it's not on purpose. And I'm just at like this point, like, can we just add Pride and Prejudice? Because just for the heck of it, because we gotta have boiled potato, you know what I mean? Yeah, oh my gosh. Potato. I'm telling you. Okay. Hello to my dad.
Oh,
How's
hi,
my dad doing?
Dad.
Oh yeah, he likes to join our chats. He doesn't talk much, but he'll be in there.
That's just like
Um,
my dad. My dad likes to lurk.
oh my dad will lurk. Well, if we start talking about cards and the right things,
He'll pitch
he'll
in.
speak up. He'll know when to speak up. He
Okay.
usually does. Oh my gosh. So well, let's go ahead
Okay.
and begin our first round. Well, that's
All
what I
right.
call this basically of 5 this or that's. I have been just warning. If you haven't seen the On the Fives, I have been called evil before for these questions. So I will see at the end. Not in a bad way. It's a whole
good evil.
sarcasm.
Okay, it's good evil. All right.
Yeah, it's good evil and it's sarcasm. And I'm just like, okay, if you think it's evil, but
all right,
it's a question,
All right, shoot.
We're gonna go easy. The first one.
Okay.
Easy. Fantasy or thriller? Which one would you rather read?
Fantasy, all the way.
I had an idea, but I wasn't sure. It's like, you know what? She might surprise me.
No. So I'll show you the latest fantasy book that I just finished. This is an amazing trilogy. It's kind of like a light read, but
that's a light read. That's a light read. Okay, folks, this is a light read.
No, okay, so hear me out. Okay, so this is a trilogy called from James Islington. He is actually writing a new series. The first book is called The Will of the Many, which has a great reviews. So it looks big. First of all, the quality of the paper is very good. It is a big book, yes, but also like it does have big print. Second of all, and the third one is it's so action packed. It's so like flowy that you don't feel it. You can finish this book in a week. I kid you not. It took me a little bit more because I was like on and off, but this book you can finish it in a week. It's so good. It's amazing. It's an amazing trilogy.
I might have to throw that out to the book club.
No, and if you want to talk about it, it's like it just blew my mind. It's fairly recent book. It's only 3. That's why a trilogy, because nowadays it's like a big, huge series. But oh, nice.
So this is another inside joke.
Okay. All right.
Because okay, it's not really an inside joke because a lot of people know. Ubaldo is very known to have read most of our books, no matter how new they are. And he usually has, I cannot neither deny nor confirm. And
okay.
He's a really good sport at not spoiling it for others.
Okay, good. A
really good sport about it. Okay. And I'm like, I think he might be the only one. I go, okay, and I swear because I'm like, don't spoil it. And others are like, it's just hilarious. He's hilarious. And I'm always like, so have you read that book? Like, I think Eruption, he had to wait like 5 months, 6 months. And I think that he actually did it. Like once we knew we were going to do it, I was like, please don't. So we always have a good laugh, like going, okay, have you read that yet? And I'm always trying to find like a new book, like what's coming out next year that you have yet to read.
Wow. Okay. No. So I thought it would, because the first book, which is called A Shadow of What Was Lost. Mm-hmm. It's not as the third book is the biggest. But you know what? You don't feel that anything is left out, and you don't feel like it's not rushed, but at the same time, you don't think that things are pointless, which is what I loved about it. And it has some pretty deep, like interesting, almost philosophical conversations at a normal level that a person can think about and question themselves as well. So it's a really nice read. I highly recommend the book. Really good. Yeah, and it's full fantasy. It's like high fantasy.
This might have to be put in for a suggestion for the Bread 5 for next year. Yes, I said for next year. We're booked. Yes, booked.
Literally.
For all the rest of the year.
Unintended.
We're booked. Yes. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm so excited because we're finishing. Actually, I actually was going to talk about this earlier. We're finishing this, Reign of the Empire.
Okay.
But nice. We're about to go fantasy. What?
A good book.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. This one is going to say yes. I am. So it's got some politics in it, and I'm not like a I
don't like politics either. Yeah, I don't like politics.
So I have to
forced me to
stretch myself. How I look at it is that I am expanding upon
Okay.
things.
There you go.
See, exactly.
There you
See?
go.
Yes. Hello, Andrew, science fictionary.
So you're gonna go
See?
fantasy.
Hold on. Here. He said he's got my vote. Yeah. Hello, Nicholas of Backyard TARDIS. Keep politics for family jurors on holiday. No,
Oh,
that's a bad idea.
for turkey.
Patrick, oh, my dad, this is true. We prefer granny potatoes. That is a recipe in our family. My mom makes great. It's these peppery, creamy potatoes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and I think there was a
Very
question in which what do you prefer, mashed potatoes or baked potatoes? I like my
Oh,
I like my
I don't see that question, but
hash browns and these square potatoes, but with like really seasoned up. Like I love French fries, for example. I die for French fries. Like that's my go-to. If you present to me French fries or an ice cream, I will go to the French fries. It's like hands down before the
okay.
ice cream.
Why do we have to pick between both? Why can't we just have a chocolate milkshake and French fries?
I would have the French fries first, and then afterwards the chocolate. Yeah.
You've never dipped French fries in
Oh
ice
God,
cream?
no. Why would I do that? Why would I?
They're so good. It's a sweet and
delicious.
savory.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
sweet and salt all together. It's
You see, it's just
magical.
nah. Like it's already a feast. An explosion of delicious savory flavors on its own. Why would I want to destroy it with a chocolate ice? With a chocolate,
Because it's delicious.
No, it's not.
Andrew says, so you can
Okay.
take cold mashed potatoes, form them into a patty, and fry them.
Yep, that's hash browns.
Mm-hmm. Wow, we're gonna be hungry after this. Oh, Patrick, they're delicious. Side note before we go back to actually getting this train back on the rails. I have friends, they're family friends, and they would bring big bag of potatoes to my mom to make granny potatoes. No joke. And I don't mean like a 2-pound bag or a 3-pound bag. Big bag. I mean like a party.
Almost.
Well, I mean, there are cookbooks, Andrew.
It's true.
It's true. But we were also talking about potatoes earlier because it just happens in the Red 5 reading book club and on the 5s. It happens. But yeah, so Reign of the Empire is what we're reading right now. And we're about to actually read The Hobbit.
Oh, okay.
The ending of the month, the next 2 weeks, we're gonna be doing The Hobbit, and then we're going to Narnia, and I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, Narnia.
We're doing Narnia July, I think July through almost
Narnia.
like the beginning of October. We're doing them all. Feel free to join us anytime.
Oh my gosh.
You can just jump in, and we have some people who just jump in when they can.
I had to leave my Narnia books when I moved here. Yeah, that and my Anne of Green Gables collection. It was like a heartbreaker because I just didn't have any space, and it was so easy. They said it was easier to get it here, but in 3 years I still haven't gotten it. So maybe I'll ask them for Christmas. Well, I'm asking for these books for the last 2 books of these ones for Christmas. Since I've already read them, I'm not in any rush to buy them. But this is a collection that I would have in my library, for example. So,
are you a side question? Are you a Kindle reader, or are you like you have to have the physical book?
I am a hybrid reader. I love the book itself. If I can get the book, for me, it's authentic reading. But but when I don't have access to the book because it's not in the library and I can't purchase it, so I just go to my Kindle, my iPad, and I get it from Libby if I can't get it from anywhere else. But
what's Libby?
So Libby is actually it's an app.
Okay.
In which several libraries have their digital books there. So it's like a digital library where you can punch in your library card to see from what library you're in, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. So if I go to a trip, for example, to Japan, and I want to read, if I want to get a book from the library, from my public library, I can access through Libby and read it there. like a digital copy.
Interesting.
So I prefer the physical book. It smells great. Yeah, no, it's true. It's like you smell the
Me too.
it's like you go to the library or you go to the bookstore, you just I need to smell books, right? It sounds so weird, but yes, I do hybrid.
Okay. I have a really good timing for this, Andrew. Just saying. Join us. Okay, so the next question, because I decided to not leave it to the end, I'm actually just going to kind of throw it in as number 2. This is actually what I have now created as I call the Brad and Roe question. Roe and Brad question.
Okay.
Because this is a question I have been asking since my first show, my first live stream, and Roe is my guest.
Okay.
And it's the one question I just love to know. And I'm just like, okay, in the long run, it ends up being either your team Roe or your team Brad based off of this question.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because one likes one and one likes the other. And I pretty much have an idea of who likes what, even in this chat right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And most of them know the question.
Okay.
It's not a hard question at all. But would you prefer to read a book about your favorite hero or a favorite book about your favorite villain?
That is a really hard question. I prefer my favorite hero. I would love to read villains. Don't get me wrong, but my tendency is more to the light side than to the dark side.
To the dark side. So you are team Brad.
Okay, I'm team Brad. I knew it was like Roe's probably gonna say, like Darth Vader is like villain.
He totally is.
Nitty gritty, and that's the thing. So I do prefer the light side. I did read fairly recently. What was it? It's Darth Bane, the first book of Darth Bane, which was really good. It got a really good insight and had me asking questions about the Sith and about like the dark side and why is there only 2, etc., etc. So,
is that a Legends book?
Yes, it's a Legends book. So it was.
I'm getting all excited, like.
It was really insightful. It was really good. It got me jittery. I had to put it down because I got like so nervous. With it at one part, it's like I don't want this to happen. I know it's gonna happen. I don't want it to happen. And it's like, no, you can't be chicken. Move it. So I read through it. I read through that part, and the rest was like, okay, wow.
Yeah. Now I want to read that.
No, it's a really good book. It's really well written.
I I'm like, okay, so we have a channel just for suggestions for the Red 5 Reading Book Club. And sometimes it makes the polls and make it all the way to Twitter, X, Twix, whatever.
Yeah.
But it starts there.
Okay.
And I'm just like, Darth Bane. You say we want to read it. We learned from the first year though that like we need to space out Star Wars a little bit though.
Yeah.
Because if not, we get kind of burnt.
Yeah,
so I'm like, but next year, I know we're starting off with a Star Wars book, but I'm just like, I'm hoping. If not, I'll read it on my own. But I'm just already like.
I also enjoyed, for example, a long time ago, Ahsoka, the book of Ahsoka.
Yes!
It was so good.
I love that book. Love that book.
So that's why it's like I prefer. If you ask me, it's like between Darth Bane and Ahsoka, I would go for Ahsoka.
Yeah. And you know what? It's crazy because when I started reading Ahsoka, I want to say it was the day after I had finished watching Mandalorian.
Okay.
And as I opened the book, the first like line is "and Mandalore burned," and I'm like, like literally, like, like.
Wow, that was an experience.
And this is before Ahsoka joined, and I was just like,
wow. Dang.
Like I was so of course then I was excited when Ahsoka actually became live action. Then I was really excited when they had her in Tales of the Jedi. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, like
amazing.
Ahsoka. And that book is
it's really
good. It's awesome. It is fantastic. Okay.
Question number 3.
I know, number 3. Would you rather have a meal with the hobbits, or would you rather have a meal with the Weasleys in the Harry Potter world?
You caught me there. I would teleport on both sides. So I guess my tendency would be for the hobbits. And why? Because then I would have access to the elves. However, I would immediately finish and go to the Weasleys. Because then I would just steal away to Hogwarts. But yes, my first inclination is to the Hobbit, and that's because I guess it's like high fantasy. Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure. So I've said this before. Pretty sure my Elphaba and my Glinda. One is a sorceress. One is truly a witch. They both really are. I swear they turn into animaguses, but they eat like hobbits.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I actually I'm like 11's. This is second breakfast, third breakfast.
Yeah. No,
my cats are part hobbits.
Yeah. I used to have a cat that like she would eat all day, but she would eat like small quantities, but all day. And then she was so chubby that when she walked, her belly would go like this.
See, and our vet had us like put them on like specific. Well, they didn't tell us a specific brand of food, but like to, better help.
There you go. There you go. Lunch with the hobbits and then dinner with the Weasleys. Yeah.
Okay, but wouldn't you rather have breakfast with the hobbits?
And then dinner with the Weasleys. That would be good. Yeah, because then I would space it out. Yeah, because it's like
You're not gonna hurt.
lot of food.
You're not gonna hurt so bad.
It's gonna, yeah.
Actually, you're going to hurt no matter what, because by the time you're around the Weasley boys.
It's true. It's true. But you know what? The hobbits, they really know how to party. That's why, I guess that's why they really know how to party. Whereas the Weasleys, I mean, with all due respect, they are pranksters, but they don't really know how to party in general, like with music and things like that. So.
But I bet you, I feel like Fred and George would.
I would love to put together Mary, Pippin, George, and Fred. Just like put them together in the same room, see what they would do.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
That would be so cool. I love that. Okay. Moving on to number 4.
All right.
Okay, would you rather live in your favorite book, or would you rather bring out one of your favorite characters out of a book?
Oh my gosh, I would live in the book.
Okay, that's easy.
This is easy.
That was an easy one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would live in a book. It's like, because then I wouldn't have to I would probably be living in like the countryside. I wouldn't be stuck in a city, in a metropolitan city. That's for starters. And then the second one is I'd go on an adventure. Instead of, I mean, I guess commuting is an adventure every day, but it's not like the adventure that I would want. And if I did go, since it's high fantasy, I would probably have access to magic or some sort of like amazing creature.
Absolutely. Yeah. Patrick says, I wouldn't mind bringing Ahsoka to real life and hang out with her. You can actually meet which one? Like you got Ashley Eckstein, you got Rosario Dawson, and then you've got
what's the third one? Oh, the little girl.
Yes. Well, she's a teenager.
Oh no, she's a teenager, right? Oh,
and
God.
she did great.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
It's there. It's in there, and I felt like she nailed it. But Patrick, you can meet him in real life. That one you can. Just pick your pick. Who do you want to meet? Okay. 5th question.
Yes.
Okay. Another visiting question. Would you rather visit the book setting of the Princess Bride book. So that means, Florin Golder. I'm hoping I say that right.
Okay.
Or the Magical Land, and I hope I said this word right because I want to say Fantasia, but I know it's not Fantasia. It's Fantastica.
No,
Fantasia. Of the Never-Ending Story.
Fantasia. Hands down. Fantasia.
That was easy. That was another easy one. I wasn't sure. I was like when I thought about that question, I'm like, I need to have at least one Never-Ending Story question in this.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
Absolutely Fantasia. You have everything in there.
Because I was thinking, you know what? When you think back to us, both of those books are from the 70s.
Yes.
Then you have the movies from the 80s. And both times they have boys reading them.
Yes.
And I was just like, I know I'm going to do this one. Like, it took me a minute. I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put it against. Yeah. I have to admit, though, I have yet to read The Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride. I haven't read it either, I have to say. I've seen the movie years ago, but I have not read the book.
I did put it up as a poll. It didn't win, but that's okay. We read something else. I think it was last summer. I'm sure you all will remember this, but I was at work and it had come through processing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's a Princess Bride book. Like my mind lost, like I lost it. When you're discovering that, I mean, I feel like I take that back. I feel like it's usually about 50-60% that's really it's based off of the book. Sometimes books are made afterwards though.
Yes. Well, you have the Star Wars.
Right. A lot of Star Wars I feel like is post versus pre.
Yeah.
Minus Ahsoka. I feel like Ahsoka happened like on the in-between, you know what I mean? Like she did the animated, but before the live action.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
But most though these days, I think it's like 50-60. Like it's not. Yeah, it's a little bit of both. That's why I'm always like, there are so many books out there. Why are we not creating new content? I don't understand.
It's a lot. Well, yeah, it's a lot of books, and also there's I mean, people have different tastes in books. It's a very for example, I recently found out about myself. Like I just realized that in books I prefer fantasy, but in movies I prefer sci-fi, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's more content in movies and series about sci-fi than fantasy. I gave Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power a try. I just could not like it for the life of me. And I have a friend who just loves it, loves it. And I love her to death, but I'm like, listen, girl, I cannot get through to episode 3. I am so sorry. I know I committed. I'll probably watch it just so that I can fulfill my word that I gave to you, but I cannot watch it. I just do not like it. It's like, for me, it's just so bad. I'm sorry. So, but there's more content, like there are more movies done in sci-fi than fantasy, whereas in books, you have sci-fi, but you have a whole lot of fantasy also.
I know I'm kind of waiting to see if the book Eruption will be turned into a movie. When we read it earlier this year, it read like a movie.
Okay,
it was by Michael Crichton, and then James Patterson was selected by his widow to help finish.
Okay.
And we were like, this is like we could, like, you could see it. You're like, this needs to be a movie. And I'm like,
it could be, yeah.
I want this as a movie. Why are we?
Murderbot. I think Murderbot's becoming a movie as well. Murderbot is another like sci-fi book series that they say it's really good. I have not read it.
Me neither.
But yeah, you know what I am reading right now? This is an interesting story. I just hope this is the last time I tell it out there, because I have been telling the story for like weeks now, and people have like, can you tell us again? I'm like, yes, I can. So I am reading right now a woman called Anne Perry, and this is a historical fiction. So I just changed completely, like no fantasy.
Love this.
Okay, so, but here's an interesting tale. So I read her book, and I do have the book here. I took it from the library, and I'm going to take it on my trip that I'm doing. So I read this one here years ago, Angels in the Gloom. Okay, so this is the 3rd book of her World War I series. And I got this while I was living in Cusco, and a little student of mine said, "Oh, Miss, here's a book in English. It was in this format right here. This one is a hardcover. And my parents say that you can have it because it's in English and we don't want to read it." And I'm like, okay, it's like an English book. It's like I did not have access to books or English books. So it's like, for me, it was just like a treasure. And I read it, and it was a really good book. I didn't understand most of it, but I just enjoyed it like a standalone because it is the third installment. So you have to read the first two books
Right.
just to understand what's going on. So, so I took that with me on my trips, and I lost it when back in 2017. I don't know if you guys know, but there was a big like El Nino phenomenon in 2017.
Yes.
And I was living in the north by then, the north of Peru, and my house was completely the first level was completely destroyed by the flood, and I lost all my books. Like all my books, I had a like a really nice library of like Christmas presents that I've been getting. In I had Lord of the Rings, I had Narnia, I had this book called Leviathan, Behemoth and Goliath, which is a historical fiction, fantasy fiction, by the author who wrote Uglies. Uglies, Pretties, and Specials. Yeah, A Nightmare Not Having Books. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah,
I'm
was
feeling
really
for you.
great.
I want to cry with you.
Yeah.
And it's how many years? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that was
been
in 2011. Okay, so I got the book. I was very happy. I read it. I reread it. I had it with me. I took it. I lost it. I was like, oh my gosh, my books. Okay, so anyway, a few weeks ago, I decided, it's like, you know what? I think I want to read again, like Anne Perry. It's been a long time. I really want to reread that book. And in fact, I want to read the entire series. So I looked her up on my Goodreads because I do have a Goodreads, and I have everything registered there. It's like, I have to have my Goodreads because I need to know, like, if I find a book, I want to have it registered so I won't forget it.
Okay.
Right. And then I can, like, I update my progress, and I have like the ones that I have read or I have reread. It was like, anyway. So I look her up, the author. It's like Anne Perry, and you guys can Google it right now, right? You can look it up and you're going to find out. It's like Anne Perry, author and murderer. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? So I look her up. I start reading. So I start reading her biography, and so she was convicted of murder when she was 15 years old. She passed away in 2023. The woman, I bless her soul. But when she was 15 years old, her best friend and her were actually committed a murder and were convicted and served time for 5 years. So they were minors, and because of that, they weren't liable for the death penalty because they were living in New Zealand at that time. So what had happened? Now, this is a problem that it should have been addressed by the parents because they couldn't distinguish between fantasy and reality. She was a big reader from what I read. And she couldn't her and her friend didn't distinguish between fantasy and reality, right? So her parents, Anne Perry's parents, and now that's not her real name. Her real name was Julie Holm, I think it was. I'm not mistaken.
She probably changed it. I mean, for reasons.
Yeah. She changed it after, like, she served her time and she finished. She left prison. So the thing is that Anne Perry's parents were getting a divorce. Oof. And her mom was going to be taking her away from New Zealand to some other country. I think it was South Africa or something like that. Like, not even, and she was British, so she was born in Britain, or I'm not sure if in England and Scotland or anywhere, but she was born in the British Isles. And then they left, and they were going to get separated. The dad was a big, huge, like he was like a university professor, like big, huge head. And the best friends didn't want to get separated, so they thought that the best way was to commit, a crime, so that they would be convicted or something like that. I don't know. They didn't have a better idea than to kill the friend's mom, right? So they actually committed that murder. So you guys can look it up. It's all on the internet.
That is crazy.
No, that was so crazy. It was so insane. So the thing is that I'm not going to say like how they killed her unless you really want me to on the channel. But you guys, again, like you can look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, they were charged, convicted, and they served for 5 years. And then when they both got out, they both separated. They never saw each other ever again. After that, it was like they didn't even see each other after they left prison.
Wow.
And she went back to she lived in Scotland with her mother. She changed her name obviously, and then she started writing. She changed her life, right? And she became she became an upright citizen. She worked hard, and she started writing books. And I kid you not, she probably wrote more than 50 books,
Wow.
and they're all about detectives and things like that. And I came across her. She has her World War One series. Yeah, and they're really good books, and she's been getting awards and things like that.
Wow.
So in 2017, Peter Jackson actually did a movie about her without knowing it was her. She did a movie about her called I think Heaven's Creatures. The internet, the chat can find out if it's that name, but I think it's Heaven's Creatures, and it was about these two girls. Apparently, it wasn't that big of a hit. I mean, I've never really heard of it. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it because I have full respect for this author, and I don't need to know about something that she repented and worked her life to overcome it. So she was devastated because the journalist started to dig in to see what happened to this girl, and they found out it was Anne Perry, and she had worked hard to create a better version of herself, and she had worked like to integrate herself into society and be an upright citizen. And she said, "It's like, listen, this is going to destroy everything that I worked for."
Right.
Afterwards, it did affect her life, but thankfully not in a way that was like shunned out from what I know. She was a very well-respected author. And like I said, she wrote many, many books and won many awards for several things. So, so kudos to her, kudos to Anne Perry.
Yeah. I'm wondering now though, if at the end of the movie, if they at least gave her props for becoming a better person or realizing from how you're saying this, that she realized what she did was wrong. She became a better person. She avenged herself.
Yes.
I mean, hello, superhero people. She avenged herself. And how many people do the Avengers?
Yeah.
Anyways, and so it's
So yes, I am reading her. She is a bit slow, so she's very descriptive. And that's what makes a 363-page book in this format very like slow read instead of a fast read. That the other big one is just like action, and there's a description, but it's not as heavy. So the action really makes it like continue the story. Right. Whereas descriptions, it just kind of pauses it, and you have to they're making you look around instead of continuing the story and making it flow. So it is a very like a slower read, but I think I will enjoy it, especially when I get to the third book, which is Angels in the Gloom, that I thoroughly enjoyed. And then I really want to know what happens later on in the books. So it's the story of 4 siblings, the Rivley siblings. Yeah, the family.
Sounds interesting because I love historical fiction and historical romance. Like besides sci-fi and besides all the fantasy, I have like my music and movies and TV, books, again, very wide range. It's also, I think, a reason why I was willing to take on Reign of the Empire was because, again, willing to at least try.
I knew it.
I know, right?
I think you found it. I think you found the book. I think you found it.
Yeah. That one. All right, so let's dig our heels in a little bit more. Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna have some more discussion.
All
5
right.
additional discussion questions, just getting to know you,
All right.
your love for books, and all those things. Okay,
All right.
who is your? Do you have a favorite childhood memory with your family and reading books
Okay. With my
or getting a
family,
book? It's up to
no.
you. It's up to you. Or childhood. We'll just go
Yeah.
childhood book memory.
Okay. So for starters, disclaimer: my mom studied literature. Yes. So
Cool.
she is. Yeah, and she has a PhD in literature. Yeah.
Okay.
Her daughter, on the other hand, was not a reader until she was 12. She did
Okay.
not like books. No, I did not
Mhm.
like to read books. However, what got me into an avid reader was actually the series called Goosebumps.
R.L. Stein.
Yes, yes. So that's
Yes.
how I started to read actually. So
Yes.
I went to the library. So there was a library or a like a yeah, part of the public library was in a mall that was 5 minutes from my house. And you know how it is when you were 13, you go to the mall, right? Back in the 90s, it was cool to go to the mall. Now it's
But
cool to just sit down in your front of your screen and like play video games.
mhm. Don't
So,
forget the book fairs.
oh yeah. Yes, the school book fairs where they the Scholastic. Yes. I
Yeah.
so there's a difference
Mhm.
between like browsing and actually reading. I love to browse. Like browsing instead of reading. And my mom tried to get me to it. I mean, she got me these beautiful editions of Pollyanna and Little Women and like the old editions, beautiful old editions.
Oh my gosh, I would probably lose my mind.
Now I lose my mind, but back then it's like, what do I want to read this? Anyway, so so I went to the library and I found a section where it was like preteens, you know, and I
Mhm.
found Goosebumps, and I think it was Say Cheese and Die or Camp Jelly Jam, one of these books. Um, and so I decided to read it. I don't know what caught my. I think probably the cover because I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. This is probably gonna get me like unsubscribed from many people. I judge a book by its cover.
It's
If the
okay.
cover is appealing,
It's
you're
true.
you're gonna get me to read it.
Mhm.
I love a beautiful cover. It really
Mhm.
inspires me to read. You know.
It's one of the reasons why people buy multiple editions of books,
Yes.
myself included.
So I read it. I took it home and I read it. I think within a day. I
Mhm.
read it, I could not put it down. It was so amazing. That was my first experience. So I went back to the library 2 days later, maybe or on the weekend. I gave it back and I took out another one and I started reading. I got into the habit of reading through the Goosebump books. And then afterwards, I started jumping into, the typical romance, you know, teen romance. I am a
Mhm.
big romance, also
Same.
big, like I love so there's this great author who has these wonderful Regency romance. I'm a big clean reader. I do not like spice in my books personally. Um no
Sorry,
spice.
I understand. I understand.
Was that
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
and so I started reading those and then I just started reading in
Mhm.
general. And that's how I
Mhm.
got into reading. Of
Yeah.
course, when I moved when I moved to Mexico and then to Peru, I did not have access to books. Um, okay, I mean it's not for
It's okay.
everybody.
No.
I definitely it was like today I would probably
That
enjoy
was
it, but not as much as I would enjoy a big
right.
like a high fantasy book.
Right. I want to say that what for me, I think I started reading R.L. Stein, Goosebumps. I know I found them in our so we had a K through 12 school, but we had a library in the elementary side and then the high school side. And
Hmm.
then I was very blessed. There was a teacher who adored me, and I would borrow books from her too,
Okay.
including every American Girl book that I could get my hands on. Which is probably when my love for history really started. Like
Okay.
happening. But Goosebumps, I'm like you, I would just find it, and I was just like,
and then Choose Your Own Adventure.
oh my gosh,
The Choose
yes.
Your Own Adventure books. That was also another big one for me.
And then Thank You, Wishbone. Did you watch Wishbone?
Oh, Wishbone, yes. Oh,
Thank you for introducing us to like literature.
Oh, that was quality TV. Quality TV. That was so good. The dog is so cute.
They need Wishbone. Or I don't know if it's Wishbone or if it's a new dog
I
or
don't
a cat
care.
or a cat.
Yeah. We
Bring
need it. Yes. Wishbone was so, oh my gosh,
Wishbone.
yes. Blast from the past.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
miss Wishbone. I think I'm gonna watch a video now.
You're gonna be like looking it up, and
I
the
wanna-
next minute you're gonna go from Wishbone to Reading Rainbow to Mr. I mean, it
Reading
just
Rainbow, of course, with Geordie LaForge.
Have you seen the documentary?
No.
I think it's on Netflix. It's so good.
About Reading Rainbow?
Mhm.
Okay. No, I have not.
Yes. And
Yes.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Oh wow. Yes. Yeah.
We had great childhoods, you guys.
Yeah, we had quality TV back then. That was quality series.
We do not. We cannot say we can't take our childhood for granted.
No way, man.
And the other thing I was introduced as a child, which I didn't realize at the time, was books. Again, it happens, right?
Yeah.
And Avonlea.
Yeah.
Because Disney Channel, at least in my area, they would have Avonlea, they'd have the Mickey Mouse Club, the afternoon. And thank you, Dad, and my mom for letting me watch all that. But I like just immersed myself into like, I just wanted to live on Prince Edward Island. So the minute I realized there was Anna Green Gables, I think I was watching PBS one day, and that's just when it happened. And I was just like, oh. You know what I mean? Like it just happens. And
I had the videos in the library, and I would like rent them once in a while.
I know. I don't know how many years ago it was, but when I realized there was additional Pollyanna books,
I learned that when I was older. I was like, wait a minute.
I have one additional book. Yep.
Oh, and that's when oh gosh, now I want to read it again. Because it was Pollyanna and her best friend, the little like orphan guy, and then when they go back, and when they're all grown up, I'm like, oh my gosh,
yeah. My goal is to get the rest of the books, but the same as the Wizard of Oz books and all the other books. I have like a reading list. It's endless. It's like, endless for me.
I recently found out that Dune was not a standalone.
It happens.
It's like there are 6 books. I'm like, there's 6 books. I just read the first one. It was amazing, but I read the first one. But the thing is that was the beauty of that series. You can read that book, and it could just work as a standalone. It was perfect. It had the perfect ending, and it was like, and only later it's like, okay, you can read like the second book, and you can finish and. Apparently, if you read the first 3 books of the Dune series, it's like, okay, I mean, you're good to go. You don't need to read the rest if you don't want to. But the story is like complete on the first 3 books. And I haven't read the 3 books, but that's thanks to my mom. My mom did have the Dune, just one Dune book series. I guess that's why also I didn't know, because I didn't have access to other books. So, so I read what my mom had, and not all of it.
Yeah. You know, have you ever seen the movie Sabrina?
Yes.
Okay. So her dad, the chauffeur, he has all the books.
Yes. Like, yes. And he became a chauffeur so that he could read books.
And I'm just like,
that's nice. That'd be really nice.
Like my dad was not books. My dad was music. His would be stacks of music.
Okay.
Okay, so next question.
All right, go ahead.
Who is your favorite book heroine?
Oof. That is extremely hard.
If you have a few, go ahead. You can share. There's a few.
Okay. Man. It's just that there's so many different genres. Heroine.
Pick like a genre.
Just like one?
What?
That's
That's
oh my
okay. I
god.
say the same thing to myself half the time.
Oh, one book
Okay, you know what?
genre.
No, no, no. Here, I'll make the question even better. I have an
Okay.
idea. I have a
Okay.
really good question burning in my head. I
Okay.
love
Okay.
it. Okay, you're gonna have an afternoon party. Don't worry, it's fictional. You get to, however,
Sweet.
okay,
Okay.
you get to bring 5 book heroines to your
Five.
party. Five.
Okay.
You get
5.
5. Who are they? Who's
Okay.
coming?
All right. So,
And I hope they get along for your sake.
I think they will. Okay. Okay. The first one that pops into my head is Elizabeth Bennet. Okay. That's the first one that pops into my head.
Yes.
Okay. The second one is I want to say Erwin, but I'm going to go for Elwin.
Okay.
Elwin of Rohan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second one. The third one, Heroine. Okay, I've read so many books. It's just like that's, and this is why I need my Goodreads. Where's my Goodreads? I know the books that I've read, so I keep forgetting. I would love to get from the recent book that I got, Ashalia. Her name is Ashalia Kedris.
Okay.
Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Really amazing, like character, female character.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see.
2 more.
How many are there?
You've given Elizabeth Bennet,
Yes.
which, oh my god, yeah. Aaron.
Yes.
And then did you say Ash, or did you
Ash.
Yeah.
That's the
Mhm.
third one. Ash. The fourth one, I had her on my head in my head. Oh my gosh, she just slipped my mind. I guess she doesn't want to be in the party. It's like I had you in my brain. What happened to you? Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. Vin.
Vin?
Vin. So Vin is from the Mistborn series.
Ah.
Vin.
Oh, where is Ro? I think he read those.
Vin.
I think.
Vin is definitely gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are 4, right?
Yep.
And then the fifth, I'm actually going through my my Goodreads books just so that I can remember. Oh gosh.
And here's me going, I'm waiting for a part. I'm like waiting for that. It's like the lottery balls. Like I'm going, is it going to be something from Harry Potter World? Is it going to be somebody from
That's
Gable?
like Anne of Green Gables. There you go, Anne. That would be 5. I cannot respect for Harry Potter. I'm a big Potter fan, but I wouldn't invite Hermione for some reason. To this party, no. I would invite her to another party.
Okay.
Or I would invite her. No, but she's like, I don't know if she would, you know, talk me down with all her information. That's my fear. My fear is that she would like literally just bombard me with information. She's so brainiac. So maybe Luna Lovegood.
Oh,
She'd be
Luna
fine.
would be wonderful. Luna would be wonderful. Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
think,
I would almost feel like Elizabeth Bennet, or she would be intrigued with her.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like she'd
So,
be intrigued.
so
And
I
Luna
think
would love it. You know what I mean? Like there would be
honorary guest.
Yeah.
Luna Lovegood.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's always been a question I always burn in my mind to ask people, and then because it's a question, and
Okay.
that is there a movie that you like more than its original book?
Yes, I do. Okay, you're gonna hate me for this.
I don't know if I'm going to hate you or if I'm going to agree with you. We'll see.
So I am not a big fan of the Hobbit book itself.
Okay, fair.
I prefer Lord of the Rings, definitely. It's a bit dense. I can Okay, I think we can all agree that Lord of the Rings is just like, it's so descriptive that it just stalls.
Mm-hmm.
And The Hobbit, I guess what happens is that I got exasperated,
Mm-hmm.
um, in a sense that it was always like they were always doing what they shouldn't have been doing. So like
Mm-hmm.
Gandalf said, "Don't do this," and they do it, and they get into trouble. Don't stray from the path in the forest. What do? They stray from the path and get lost and get in the forest. But don't do this. They do it, and more trouble comes around. And I'm like, dude, it's like it's not hard. It's not rocket science, okay? And the wizard is a wizard for a reason, okay? So I know it's an adventure, but for me, it was kind of like, okay, this is dumb. Why are they doing this? They've been told not to do it, and they go and just like stick their foot in the mud. It's like
They're shenanigators,
exactly. It's like, dude.
naughty children.
So so that's why I got exasperated. It's like I got really fed up with the book, but I did and like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the movies. They have creative uh aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people did not like it. Fair enough. I mean, you can like it, and if you can, and if you don't like it. I have
Yeah.
people who love the sequel and wrote was twitching his eyes when I told them that one of my book buddies enjoyed more like the last Jedi. I thought it was the best Star Wars movie like in the entire series. And
I'm
he
looking for Ro.
and he was on my channel when I had the guts to tell him, right?
Hey,
Thankfully,
you know
you could
what?
only see his
Okay.
hands. And he's like, "Can you feel my eye twitching right now?" And I'm like, "Yes, don't
Yep.
worry, it's twitching every time I did it."
That's why I'm like, where is he? Is he lurking?
So, so it was just like, like fair enough. I'm very happy that he likes it because there are people who worked hard on the movie.
Right.
It didn't work
I think
out.
there was good aspects to it. You know what I mean? I didn't dislike it. I just wasn't my favorite one. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? At the same time, I don't like I wouldn't tear somebody
So
down. I loved
I preferred the movie The Hobbit over the book in that sense.
it.
So also the Neverending Story actually is a very very deep book. Um, I would say it is a very high fantasy, but it's a very philosophical book, and he does touch on aspects that you wouldn't think, uh, you know, it's for a children's book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if you read it when you're an adult, you're gonna catch things that as a kid you're not gonna get.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely the movie is a lot lighter, but it does touch on really deep aspects, but not as deep as in other aspects like in the book. So yes, he's not drinking anymore. He's chugging the bottle.
He knows how to get into here.
Yeah.
He can easily just pop into this back. He's got access. He'll be like going into that live studio right now. No.
So yeah. So
He's
there's
an
one of the
he's
yeah,
good.
there's one of your questions.
I know for me, I have to talk about it because I love the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Love
Yes.
that. Actually, I have.
I knew it.
Sorry, Ro. Not really. By the way, she's Team Brad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Ro.
And when I discovered it was a book, I was like, oh, I gotta read it. I gotta read it, right? I gotta read it. And
Yeah.
I remember reading it and going, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like what the script writer took and did
Yes.
was take the best parts because there was and brought it back down to about Idjine Ruth, who again, I have a friend, I have a nickname and she's got a nickname, both from Fried Green Tomatoes. And I'm like, I think that they just captured a part of that book.
Yes.
And it could have been just made into a book just like that versus all these extra side roads it verges away from the actual story, and
Yes.
it's like, well, how does that really help this? And and I'm just like,
Yeah. So
no.
that's kind of what happened to me when I read the Stormlight Archives recently. Yeah, yes. Bro was he was not screaming on my channel, but I could hear him, like, his thoughts when I said that about my friend.
It's okay. It's okay. We're adults.
Yeah.
We're not shenanigans like hobbits. Come on.
So so when I read the Stormlight Archives recently,
Mhm,
I did not get to the fourth book because it was just way too much. So the third book, which is Oathbringer, this is a Brendan Sanderson book, and if you guys
mhm,
know, he did release the fifth book called Wind and Truth, which I think I'm not gonna read it. It's like way too much. And he does, apparently his quality of writing just goes way down in this book. So I'm just like
mhm.
not gonna invest.
Right. Hmm.
But I did read his third book, which I do have. It's part of one of the kits that I got for Christmas,
Hmm.
um, Oathbringer, and I just felt that it was like I could not put myself, not even a 3 or 4. I think I put it a 4 star, but I couldn't put it more because it was
Hmm.
just so. It was 150 pages too long, and I felt like it was like, listen, why do I need to know this? It's like, okay, world building, yes, but even, I mean, you have to have like a limit.
Hmm.
And I just felt like it was going all over the place. It was digressing in so many ways. There were good aspects, but then the last part of the book was like the really good parts. It was just about 50 pages long, and I'm like
Hmm.
this is a masterpiece. Why couldn't you just get to the point? You
Hmm.
know. So it's around. I think my edition is about 1,050 pages. Yeah, it's a thick book. The one that I showed you right now is 800 pages. It's not that, it just looks big, but the other one is like paper thin,
Mm.
what they call Bible paper, like super
Oh.
thin,
Hmm.
a little bit thicker, but the print is super small, and it's 1,050 pages. So it's like, it's
Is
a
that
big
bigger?
book.
Is that bigger than War and Peace at this point?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
No.
And see, that's a book that I would never read, but I love the movies. War and Peace. Oh, I cannot read Russian literature. For me is just way too dense. Like
You're like, it's too much.
Dostoevsky or Tolstoy, it's just way too dense. I love the movies. Um, yeah, that was definitely light reading. Now you
Can you,
understand that this is for me. This was light reading. I
can
kid
you
you
can you tell who my master bookworm is?
not.
Our book club.
So, but for example, yeah, it was, and you know what? One of the things that Brandon Sanderson also has in his second books, not the Stormlight Archives, but in the other books, I've read so many of his books.
Hmm.
Um, he gets into politics in the second book, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, come on, this is like so boring. It's like, I want the action. Where's the action?
Exactly.
He did a
Exactly.
sci-fi book, which is called Skyward, which I read in a day and a half. It was so good.
Hmm.
And then like, oh my gosh, I got to read the second book. And then the second book starts out. I was like, you're kidding. This
Hmm.
is pure politics. This is so boring. What happened? Where's the action?
You're
You know?
like, no.
Exactly. I went to the third book, which is Cytonic, um,
Hmm.
which was a little bit better.
Hmm.
But I didn't get to the fourth book, which was Defiant, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this. It's like, there's so many books to read.
Yeah. You're like, you'd rather spend your time on. Yeah.
The little
I
time that I have.
totally understand.
Right.
Moving on to question 4.
Okay,
If
let's see.
you could meet an author, whether alive or no longer with us,
Hmm.
only one though,
Only
only
one.
one. Who would you want to meet?
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Oh, Tolkien. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Are you guys meeting at the library? Or are you guys going to meet at the pub?
I would go to the pub.
The pub.
Oh
I
yeah,
think you would
absolutely.
too.
I would get myself a beer and I would just sit and listen to him. You know?
Hmm. Hmm. Part of me would love to have been a fly on the wall in regards to the Inklings.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? And we all know about Tolkien and we all know about C.S. Lewis.
Yes.
But everyone forgets the other two. And it's like, did y'all know there's more?
Yes.
More
Yeah, the
technically.
poet, the poet,
The poet,
the poet. Yeah,
the poet,
and then I would have Jane Austen,
yes.
or
Oh my
like,
gosh, Jane
yeah, no,
Austen.
Jane Austen, or
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm with you.
I would
Mhm.
say, I would also say like Lucy Maud Montgomery, but I think I would go for Tolkien, and then
Yes. Lucy,
so
oh my God. I know. It's such a hard question. I
it's
totally get it.
a
I get
very
it.
hard
I get
question.
it.
It's a very hard question.
Usually my mind goes to like if it's somebody gone, it's like you, but all those are gone. And I'm like, usually it's
Yeah,
C.S. Lewis or Frank L. Baum's right out. I'm sorry, L.
yeah,
Frank Baum are right up there. But then there's, or Louisa Alcott. I'm like,
yes,
or
yes.
yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it's a really hard question.
Not
Um,
bad. She's having a party, people. She's inviting them all.
yeah, I'm inviting everyone. Yeah, it's like there's no way. It's like even Ann Perry. Ann Perry, come on, mom. It's like we gotta talk. We
Yeah.
gotta talk books.
And you know what? I can somehow, it's interesting because in my mind, I can almost see it. I can almost even see C.S. Lewis wanting to sit down with her
Yeah,
because I could see that. I don't know why, but my mind, I can almost see him like wanting to know more and I think he would be excited that she avenged herself.
yeah.
I think he would be cheering her on
Oh
and
yeah,
being like, yes,
yeah.
that, that right there is so important. I don't know why. In my mind, all of a sudden, it just like popped in my head. I was like, oh, I could totally see your dinner. Like your party is excellent now. Like you're good to go. You can have the party. You don't need to pick one anymore. All right. Aldo has self-invited. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Over. He can help clean up. I would highly recommend instead of clean up, have him bring food. I think he probably makes good food. From our discussions, I'm
Okay.
like, dude, you're making me want to move to Texas. We're always joking. Like I'm like, okay, if you're coming up with Scott and Kim, you just bring the let's
Just bring
go.
the food. Bring the food.
Go.
Right.
Let's go. All right. So going back to our hero or villain, this or that question. You picked hero.
Yes, I did.
So if you could go visit your favorite hero or heroine in your favorite book, in your favorite setting, who are you going to go see? Where are you going?
Ooh.
You can
Another
think
hard
about it for a moment.
I'm gonna think about it for like a month, and I still won't have the answer. These are
This
hard
is why I got called people before.
These are hard questions. Let me look at my Goodreads. This is what I remember. Let's see here. So, favorite heroine or favorite hero? Go and visit. You see, that's very, very difficult. Who would I go? There's so many. It's like I would use a travel stone just to visit so many others.
I think you and Hermione are a lot alike. She would, you know what I mean? She'd take the bag and she would, go take them places. And I can totally see you guys are very alike. Like you would do the same.
I'm not a brainiac.
I don't know about that. You're not giving yourself enough credit here.
I'm not a brainiac. I'm not dumb. I consider myself pretty smart.
Oh no, you are very intelligent.
But I'm not an encyclopedia. Like Hermione's an encyclopedia.
You got a lot of knowledge in your toolbox. You do. Here you are. I'm going to take the time stone. We're going places. You know what I mean?
Let's go, man. Okay. Well, it's the first thing that pops into my mind is Lord of the Rings.
Go with your gut. Go with your.
But I also would love to go to Narnia.
That's why we're going to Narnia this summer.
I would love to go to Narnia because it's just like it has everything also. And it's such a simple read, whereas Lord of the Rings is more complex. Narnia is just a simple read. So
I
that's
kind of have a hot topic question to ask you.
okay.
I already have a feeling I already know the answer though, but I'm just curious because we haven't talked about it.
All right, go ahead, shoot.
How you feeling about the fact that Narnia's getting a Netflix show?
I did not know this.
I'm gonna go hide now. Oh, you didn't know?
I did not know this. I knew that Harry Potter was getting the series, and they had casted the crew. I knew about Willow. I did not know that Narnia was gonna get. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but no.
They even mentioned that they might get Meryl Streep for Aslan.
Oh, that was it. I thought it was a hoax.
That was I don't know if that was a rumor or if that really was like something that was put out there, like as a possibility.
No.
But think about it, because some of the same stuff that was happening with Harry Potter that would get leaked happened. And I'm just like, I feel, I don't even know how you feel about the Harry Potter series.
No, I'm not. Sorry. No, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
No.
I feel horrible because I feel like the 3 kids look like it, but I'm just like, you could have done the Marauders. You could have done the founders.
Yeah.
You could have done the ghosts. Why are we redoing this?
We don't need a redo. The movies are spectacular. You don't need to redo them. It's like more faithful to the books. Like they were pretty faithful, actually. They were. I mean,
well,
you can't.
Minus Winky.
Okay, fine.
And Charlie Weasley.
Yes, but you can't get everything inside. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, when you adapt a book to a movie, you can't get everything into the movie. You know. So it's like, I don't need it. You know, it's not something that I asked for, and it's not something that I'm going to enjoy. Just like Willow, when I saw Willow, like I had a teacher when I was back at school. You know, it's like, why? So how are you? It's like, I'm cautiously optimistic, but then I didn't even watch the first one. I just kind of started like doing my research. And I'm like, no, this is not happening. No, forget it. And thankfully, they didn't finish it. Well, they did finish it, but they didn't do a second series. The second season was like, no, this is done. Just leave Willow alone. The movie's fantastic. And Val Kilmer is like, how can you possibly not have like Mad Mardigan in there? Mad Mardigan. Like,
I remember being so excited when I heard we were going to get a Willow series. I was over the moon, excited.
Yeah.
And the fact that I didn't finish it. It's still heartbreaking to me.
It was just a bad series.
And I felt so bad for Warwick. I just like
and he probably played his utmost.
Yeah.
You know? He probably played his because that's his character. He knew it from start to finish. And then you had like, you know, characters coming back like Sorsha. Right? Who was played by her. And I'm not sure if Elora Danan was the baby. I
can't remember at the moment.
I really don't remember. But anyway, the thing is that it's like, okay, but you know, you had a precious stone and you just dropped it in the mud for something like that. No. So the fact, no, I don't need the Narnia movies that came out were spectacular. I would have liked to have more with the same cast, yes, and the same like concept artists and everything, yes. But if you're going to give me something new, which up to now has been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, it's like, listen, man, you're not going to get my money. I'm not going to watch it. And I don't have time to get disappointed in things. You know, I have so many other things that I can watch and I can read, and so.
Agreed. All right. So we're going to be getting to wrap up soon. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But I think
Ubaldo,
from Ubaldo. He says, your favorite book, in which book you read more than once?
Oh, man. That's a hard one because
that's a good one.
When I like a book, I can reread it immediately again.
Agreed.
It's like, I need to read it again, like right now. Now, I can't read this trilogy right now because I already started with the end, but I know that I'm going to reread it again. I have reread so many books. Which was
Mhm.
my favorite? Um, it depends on the genre as well. Let's see here.
Here, let's go. Classic literature.
Classic literature. I love my Jane Austen. I love
Okay.
my Jane Austen. So that's my
You have,
classic
like, a favorite
literature.
Jane Austen book?
I would have to say Persuasion more
Okay.
than Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion are my two top tiers.
Yeah. For
Um,
me, it's Pride and Prejudice, but Sense and Sensibility.
yes.
I don't know why. I love Sense and Sensibility, always have.
Yeah, I've always loved Persuasion. It's like a very
Mhm,
deep. It's one of I think her shortest book, but it's a very deep book. And Anne
mhm.
Elliot is a very deep person.
Yes, she
So
is.
so I love like it's Pride and Prejudice, but also like Persuasion. It's like both there. I cannot
Mhm.
choose between the two.
You know what? Here's a good one. Okay. So we have many coming of ages books. Little House
Okay.
Slicker. You've got Anna
Okay.
Green Gables. You got Little
Yes.
Women.
Yes.
Favorite. Do you have a favorite?
Hannah Green Gables. I cannot. It's just like you know what?
Mhm,
Anna Green Gables is homey,
mhm.
and even though Little Women is real and Little House on the Prairie are real, as in like they
Right.
portray
Things actually happen.
like real characters.
Mhm,
Anne of Green Gables for me, her larks, um, her her wittiness, the
mhm,
fact of how she discovers what real love is and what it entails,
mhm.
and not some fantasy that
See?
she had. That for me is it's gold. It's like top quality. That for me is homey, and that yeah.
Mhm.
So Anne of Green Gables would be my favorite, and that's yeah.
What
Um,
about, like, a thriller or, like, a mystery? Do you have, like, a favorite in any of those?
I haven't read that many actually.
Okay.
Um, Thrillers. Well, I read Jurassic Park, for example.
Michael Crichton, good. Mhm.
Um, you see, that's a book that it's like I enjoyed the movie, I think, more than the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think the book is a little bit too. It's slower than the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it a long time ago, but
Mhm.
I've read so many books. Like I've read the entire not yeah the entire Narnia series more than once. I've read Anne of Green Gables God knows how many times. I've read Little Women. I've read Under the Lilacs.
Mhm.
It's
I
like
was
I
just gonna
have
say, have you read the other ones that are in that
yes
series?
yes. So the thing is that I've read so many books so many times, and then
Mhm.
for the new ones, this is another thing that like I have a very wide like
Mhm.
interest,
Range.
a
Mhm.
range of interest. I've even read Chinese novels.
Interesting.
Yes, I've read Chinese novels that
Can
were
you read
translated.
Chinese or
No, no, no,
it's
no, no.
changed
It translated into English.
translated?
Yeah,
Okay.
so novels that were translated into English or web novels.
Mhm.
Um, I am a big Chinese drama series fan. Not so much of a K
Interesting.
drama, more of Chinese, and it's very fantasy. But there's
Mhm.
also like the war types. So
Mhm.
I've also read those, and I've read them several times. I have my favorite books. Um,
That's so cool. I did not know that about
yeah.
you. That's so cool. That is so cool.
So to ask me what is my favorite book is kind of like saying, you know what is your favorite, what's your favorite jean? It's like they're all good. It's like I wear, all of them. I cannot pinpoint which
I
one.
I do wonder though, Ubaldo, do you have a favorite book?
Yes, that's a good question.
Like, I'm kinda
An-
like, "Wait a minute.
Answer
Hold
that.
up."
Answer that.
Yeah, I think he probably will. If we give him a minute, I bet you he will.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been absolutely a very fun time. I'm so glad that came on and we got to nerd out and talk about books. I'm like, I feel like we could easily do a part two and just
Oh yeah, absolutely.
a whole
I have
nother set of questions and we would be just as fun. But just what do you have coming up?
So tomorrow I'm going to be streaming my own Art and Tales, which is my I usually stream it on Thursday, but because Nicole had invited me to this wonderful podcast, I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So, and I knew it was going to be more than half an hour. It's like, no, this is going to be like
You're like,
there you go. Interview with the Vampire is his favorite book.
I believe we're actually reading that later this year too.
Okay. Wow. I'm
just surprised that it's just one.
Wow.
Because I know he loves books.
Okay.
And Nicholas says, not counting the body.
Not counting the Bible.
Journey to the Center.
Oh, Journey to the Center of the. See, that's another series that I enjoyed. I enjoyed 80 days around. Yeah, 80 days around the world, and then Journey to the Center of the Earth. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So yeah, so that's another series that I haven't read in years, but I enjoyed them when I did. Yeah, I've read a lot of books actually. Now that I think about it.
I'm telling you, you're more like Hermione than you realize. So
tomorrow I'm gonna be on Art and Tales, which is my streaming, my art streaming, not a podcast, my art stream, in which you see just my hands. That's all my hands. And then I think that's gonna be the last one for about a month because I'm going on a trip. Yep, I'm going a few weeks over to you guys to the States. And yeah, I'm just going to have, and I'm just going to disconnect. There's going to be no streaming. You're going to see posts like Twitter posts or X posts or whatever.
Are we allowed to know where you're heading or are you just?
Yes, I'm going. So I'm not going to be in the city itself. So I'm going to be in Boston, Massachusetts, but I'm going to be on the outsides for apparently it's about a 2-hour drive from the city itself. So
are you going to go see Louisa Alcott's house while you're there?
I will take note. Absolutely. Yes.
I'm like, please live my dream.
I need this. I need this. Yes.
Well, because see, like when you're in her that area has so much history. When you learn about her, you learn about like the people that she was surrounded by, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like U.S. history. It's insane. It's just, yeah.
Oh, I did not know this.
I'm pretty right. It's in Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure Plum House is there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's real.
Yeah.
Like it's just like.
Because if for me it's going to be like excursions out. It's just a complete disconnect, which I do every year, but with a bunch of friends. So it's like, but now that you tell me,
you're like, how dare you, Nicole? You're welcome.
Thank you, Nicole.
Oh my gosh. Well, because I always thought it would be so cool to go to Massachusetts. Well, not just Massachusetts, but just go in that area to go to visit various authors' homes. I've always thought that would be amazing to go there or go even to go see various places for Little House on the Prairie or go see whoever.
I really don't know like where exactly it is. I just know that it's about 2 hours from the city. And they said that we were possibly going to go to like Martha's Vineyard for the day just to visit. But now that I think about it, it's like I could, you know what? I would just hang Martha's Vineyard and I would go to Louisa May Alcott's house.
I know.
Like, I have no interest now in
me too. Martha's Vineyard. I totally would. I'm gonna have to look it up. I will look up the details. I know, like when I was one time reading about her life, and it's like you read about her family's life, and you're just like, they were so ahead of time. Okay. And you know what bothers me is that growing up in U.S. history, when you read it, you're like, wait, you're missing stuff. You're missing stuff. When you read about her family's life, I just always go back and go, they missed important stuff. Yeah. Or like, I'm going to say it because it still makes me mad to this day. So like, we all know about Ruby Bridges. Amazing. Mm-hmm. That's huge. It was. I'm not taking away from that. That is extremely important part of our history. But a lot of people forget that her dad actually admitted a little black girl into his school before it was a thing.
Wow. And
people forget. And I'm like, that is history. That is so important.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. No, that is important because everybody is it's like, thank you so much.
I know this has been fun. I know you all those like, dude, we need to hang out.
It'd be so cool.
It
It'd
would
be
be
awesome.
absolutely cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Well, you're going to have a blast. So,
Yeah.
and just make sure you eat well. Don't
Okay.
just, mom and pop places, you
Okay.
can get McDonald's wherever, but come on,
It's true.
it's true.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Now, are you going to go coast to coast or are you just like,
No, I'm just staying in that area. I'm just going to stay in that area, and then like we're going to be visiting stuff, so it's going to be worthwhile.
okay,
And then I'm
awesome.
just and then I'm coming back. So
You're going to have a blast. You're going to have a blast.
I'm
And
really
now I'm
excited.
like, wait, are you going to go like see like Salem? Like, oh my gosh, like
That'd be so cool.
I know. I'm like, you're in Massachusetts. You do understand like all the history that's there. All of a sudden, your world has changed. Maria, why didn't you call me? I would have given you all this information.
I need to know.
Just
Yeah,
simply chatted me. I've been like,
so the area is called Pembroke. The area is called Pembroke, and yeah, I'm like literally looking at the map right now.
You're like, I need to know these places.
I do need to know these places.
Well, because Salem is also really big for history. I mean, Massachusetts is known for its history, and I have yet to visit there, my friends. It's true, but one day maybe. It's one of as many states as I have visited. That's one I have yet to visit. So I'll get there.
Yeah, it's near North Pembroke, but hey, I am more than happy to move around.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Are you starting to question why your other friends haven't? Went like, oh yeah, we should do that. Come on.
Well, if I don't go, I mean, I understand, but I would love to go.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure you're going to have an absolute blast, but it has been so much fun having you here. Again, we might have to do this again because this was an absolute great time. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's so great.
When you said books, I'm like, oh man, this is
well, and so the original concept of this was that I wanted to do a live stream that included the Red 5 Reading Book Club, which we do reviews once in a while. I've started doing what's called a Once Upon a Fairy Tale series.
Okay. Oh, that's another genre, fairy tales. Me as a storyteller, I can tell you, it's
fun. I think we've done 2 or 3 so far. Yeah, I had Megan from A Certain Point of View came on, and we did like Sleeping Beauty, and then the history of that. And then, I know. I know.
It ain't no sugar coated.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody, you say thank you to Walt Disney, okay?
Yeah. Walt Disney saved you guys, like your innocence.
In some ways, say thank you to Brothers Grimm because they even took it down a couple notches.
Yeah, they did. They had to.
Shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah, that one, and for example, Hansel and Gretel.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah,
I haven't. It's interesting. So the idea came from I had on a bunch of ladies, we did just 5 of us and had like a little round table about fairy tales and Disney princesses, whatever, right? We were just having fun. And then every time that idea just kind of laid in my head, and now I'm like, I need to do it. So we've done that one. We've done Snow White. Another one. And I know we have planned Cinderella's coming with Marisha from Science Fictionary. And then I know Princess and the Frog's coming. Like there's other ones like in the works, but I feel like I want to do more.
Yeah.
So if you want to come back sometime, maybe we can talk about a fairy tale.
Yeah, hit me up with the DM.
I'll let you pick the fairy tale.
Okay.
Minus Beauty and the Beast. That one is off the table. Kim has picked that one. So
okay, no, that's fine. I have
so many good ones.
Yeah, and so many that are not well known that it would shock you. So that the beauty of them.
Do you remember there is an HBO show in the 90s called Once Upon a Child? Oh, Fairy Tale Once Upon a Child, or no?
I remember Fairy Tale Theater.
Was that on PBS?
I don't know. I wasn't living in the States, so.
Maria, my dad wants you to know they have great seafood, and you should try.
Ooh,
my dad will be like, so we'll meet you there.
Oh yeah.
My dad has visited that area. I have not.
Yeah. Oh my
He
gosh.
used to teach. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna.
Seafood connoisseurs. So
Okay.
don't ask me why I haven't been there yet. Okay. I don't know. Eventually it'll happen. It'll happen one day. But so yeah, I would love to have you back on. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Fun. Oh, one last question before we go.
Yes.
Because I think I know, but I don't 100% know.
Okay. You want to be sure.
Yes, I want to make sure.
Okay.
Your Hogwarts house. I was about to say, no.
Okay. What do you think it is?
It's either, I feel like you're either a Hufflepuff or you're a Ravenclaw.
I'm a Gryffindor. I have done the test.
But I did say that you're like Hermione.
Yes.
But I did say you're like Hermione. So why didn't I pick Gryffindor?
I did not know. I do not know. But I've done the test so many times, and every single time it was Gryffindor. And I'm like, that's it, man. I done the test, and I was like, I am Gryffindor, and I am so happy to be there.
That's how I felt when I thought I would be a Ravenclaw. And then here's the shocker. My best friend ended up being the Ravenclaw, and I ended up being a Hufflepuff.
You're a Hufflepuff. I can totally.
At the beginning, I was just like, I think for like a month. I remember we did it over Thanksgiving holiday. I was up at myself and my daughter. We were up there for Thanksgiving holiday, and we took the quiz. We did the official one.
Yeah, the official one. Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how? Like, and then like about a couple weeks later, I remember I was at the time I was working for Girls Group Chicago, Northwest Indiana, and I was talking to some customers about it who knew me very well from there, and they were troop leaders and things, and they're like, "So you're a Hufflepuff?" And they're like, "I'm like, how did you know?
You're so nice."
But at the same time, I can be nice. But you don't want to be like not nice either, or don't. Okay, nobody mess with Maria because you don't want it. You don't want that. You don't want that. You know what I mean? You don't want to mess with a badger. We become.
Yeah. You just don't want to mess. Don't mess with.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, but it's interesting because when I did my Ilvermorny, I ended up being the Horned Serpent.
Oh,
I know, right? What an interesting crossroad, right? And I'm like, well, there it is.
The American one, the American test. I did the test, and I was the little goblet. I don't remember what the name of the
Pudge.
Yes, I think Pudge House.
I think that's the one. Yeah, it's been so long since I've read those ones.
So I really don't know. It's really indifferent. So if they put me there, I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah.
Sure. I'm like, well, that makes sense because for me, but I love books. I love to learn things. I'm like all these things that it says Ravenclaws are.
Yeah, but Cho Chang was a Ravenclaw.
Okay, but she in the movies, she got the short end of the stick. Cho Chang was better in the books.
It's true. No, but she was a watering pot in the book.
What? I'm sorry, say again?
No, she was a watering pot in the books.
Yeah, but she got blamed for stuff in the movies that in the books she didn't do.
Fair enough.
Not fair.
Fair enough, yeah.
And we didn't get Winky. I'm still a little peeved on that one.
So you're going to watch the series just for Winky? Okay.
No. Because I feel like I'm with you on the whole one technology thing and how good was that? And then even though I feel like the cast is really good, like the young cast, look at. I don't think I get that they're not trying to give us fan service here, but at some point, this is what I have a problem with. And sadly, with Hollywood these days, I feel like we're getting this more and more, and that is they're blaming us, the paying audience, for not watching what they're putting out.
Yeah.
And blaming us, even though we said, even beforehand, we are not going to watch this. We are not interested in this.
Yes.
We clear as day. And I'm just like, you couldn't have given us the beginning?
Yeah.
Shoot, they could have, I get that they probably would not. They could really actually begin doing now because technically Hermione's the Minister of Magic.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get that there is bad blood there. So that's why probably why they're not doing that. But then they still had the option, though. They could even go on to the American side. They have one more right.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, and we already had characters introduced from Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
They could have totally done that.
Yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it
It
is.
is what it is. Yeah.
It's just that I hope when if it sours, they have no one else to blame but themselves.
Yeah. But here's the thing: it's like I genuinely feel for the actors and for the people in the production area because they are working hard, and it's not their fault that the series. I'm not saying that the series is bad right now, but okay, let's use previous series, like Rings of Power or the Willow series. So it's like there are so many people working on these things that are genuine, have a genuine interest, and they're putting their talent, their art, their effort, brain power, tears, sweat, blood, everything in these productions. And it just doesn't do well because the writing or like the idea was just wrong from the beginning. So it's just like, I feel for these people because they're not, it's not their fault.
Yeah. Or forgive me, bringing your own personal agenda
into series that you don't. It's like, no, nobody wants this.
Because I can remember with Willow, and I can't remember a specific moment at the moment, but like there would be like even words they would say, and it would pull me out of the whole movie. I mean, not the movie, the whole show. And I'd be like, wait, what? And then I would keep watching, and then it would still be there.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And just
there's
too much of
no
that.
need.
Yeah, too much of that was happening, and I'm just like, and don't even get me started on the Narnia series because I don't know what's more of a headache. I mean, even Little House. Now, this is the one thing the only show I think I'm giving some wiggle room to is Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, they are doing the reboot.
They've already, right. So they've already, and they even have the love from the original cast, like really, really,
okay.
They're, have seemed to be very supportive of this. And the only reason why I'm okay with it, it's going to sound weird. I think a lot of people forget that when Michael Landon wrote Little House on the Prairie shows,
a
lot of that wasn't from her books.
Okay.
We had a lot of characters that weren't there. Albert's not even in the books. There's so many characters that are not in the books.
Yeah.
And so many things additional.
Yeah.
That I feel like they have an opportunity to show Little House on the Prairie in as long as they keep it in that time.
Okay.
That time zone, that time frame. And the costumes, words, the words have to be.
They have to be, they have to be historical. It has to be within the timeline.
Historically accurate. I think that they have an opportunity if they want to take it. I think it won't make it if they don't keep it historically accurate. Because already fans are like, and I'm like, I get it. I totally do. But at the same time, it's the only one where I'm like,
we'll give it a try. Okay.
It's a possibility.
Okay. Fair enough.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
But we won't talk about it.
No, we digressed again.
Yeah. It's yeah. I really I can't even talk straight anymore. I wish the BBC still had like copyright over it. Part of it. You know what I mean? Because I know that they had done one before. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But like
BBC does amazing stuff. Like
I would like
historical
Downton Abbey. I would love to have seen them have their hands on Narnia in comparison to Netflix. Sorry, Netflix. No, because I think they would do a better job at keeping the themes and the symbolism and the historical accuracy in comparison.
No, agreed. 100%.
And they would make, I'm like, for crying out loud, you have the original voice actor from Aslan from the Disney series.
Liam Neeson.
You could have, you could have called Liam Neeson up and said, hey, will you come back? And you're not, and you don't pay, forgive me. Y'all don't come at me.
No.
You don't go with the female line because it's considered blasphemy and it's getting rid of the symbolism and themes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do something for an author, you have to respect what the author meant.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my God. You just totally went on to a whole nother thing that I thought I was actually texting a friend the other night about. Because have you read any of the Wicked or Wizard of Oz books?
No.
Okay, so Wicked, of course, is based off of L. Frank Baum's Wizard of
Yes.
Oz, which are American fairy tales. That's what he
Okay.
wanted.
Okay.
And he didn't want his characters to be sexualized.
Oh.
And I kind of always, and I get it. I love Wicked. I love Wicked. I love the Broadway. By the way, I love the Broadway a little bit more than the book. I have a reason.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a chapter in the book that it would terrify you, Maria. You would never read you would never finish the book. I would have to be like, so Maria, I'm going to have you read the book, but I'm going to have you do not read this one chapter because it would terrify you and you would never, actually, I take that back. There's 2 chapters now. Now that I think about it, now that I know you don't want spicy.
Yeah, I don't like spice in my book.
The Broadway show took the spicy out.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure so far they've taken the spicy out of the movie. I think. Okay. I'm pretty sure. We will see here in November.
Movie. Oh, the new movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I know. I'm so excited for it. I'm like, please let it be as good as the Broadway. But it's I know it's a hard topic, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, but and it's like going, but do you respect the author or do you go against?
Yes.
Now, I love the fact that McGuire went back, L. Frank Baum, Alphaba. You know what I mean? He did a lot of honoring things, but at the same time, yeah. Or if an author says, I do not want a sequel to my book, like Margaret Mitchell, who was Gone with the Wind, and then people do it anyways, it's like, how do we, I don't know. It's a toss up. And I know the whole thing with Wizard of Oz is a hot topic. Oh. That is a whole hot topic on itself.
Yes. No, absolutely.
But I go, but Dorothy's 9 years old. We don't do that. I digress. No. Sorry. That's where I go back. I go, she's 9 years old. We don't do that.
No, we don't.
That's where my logic takes me. Anyways, okay, we will be here all night talking. Yes. So we're going to let you guys go. So Maria and I I have to get up in the early AM, and I'm sure Maria has to get up early too. So, but thank you again so very much, Maria. Quick recap though, coming up, we're finishing up Reign of the Empire this weekend, but we're going to be reading The Hobbit, and we're going to be discovering Narnia. I am so excited for all the adventures Fred 5 reading is going to be taking. And then in the fall, after Narnia, we're going to be doing Interview with the Vampire.
Nice.
I know. I have not read the book.
No, I haven't read the book either. I remember the movie, but I don't have it.
So I'm excited. Last year we did Dracula. So this year we voted again, and this time it was Interview with the Vampire. So I'm just like, okay. I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'm excited. So anyways, it has been wonderful. Thank you to everybody for coming in today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you check out Maria on Uncocking Lore. Is that the only YouTube channel you have?
Yeah, it's the only YouTube channel. It's when I do Art and Tales and Uncocking Lore. So. And
you want to go into her vault. Go into her vault. You're going to want them because they're really, really good. Really good. So anyways, thank you, everybody. I hope that you guys all have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time on the Fives.